joy you have.
Okay, so my name is Ilse, and I'm very happy that we could come to Lake O'Hara. And one of the reasons I love to be here is that I could do some painting. And I made this painting today. It's a watercolor. It's not complete yet. I still want to put in some shadowing. But what to me is the most wonderful thing about the park is all the colors and how when the light changes, how the colors change as the day goes on, and the beautiful shadows and the larches that are so bright yellow. So beautiful. So that's great. I come from Nelson in British Columbia, and I'm here with a whole party of 11 people, and we do these hikes once a year. We're a book club, and we all do we do a hike like this out in the outdoors somewhere every year. I live in BC, so I have come to love BC very much. I'm originally a South African, and I just very much like to be in British Columbia just for that exact reason that you can go outside. 5 minutes from our house, we can go into the forest and go for a beautiful walk. We hiked up to Linda Lake, and we painted over there.
Linda Lake.
Linda Lake, yes, just on the eastern side of Linda Lake. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to BC. I'm here at Lake O'Hara in BC, and it is an amazing place to come to. Hi, my name is Paul Hankins. I'm here at Lake O'Hara in British Columbia. Spectacular place. The scenery here is absolutely magnificent. It's hard to get into. You could stay at the lodge, but they take reservations a year in advance. You stay at the Alpine Club Hut. It takes a year to get in, or at the campground. I've maybe been here a dozen times over my life. I came here first when I was 5, and when you were allowed to camp in a different place in the Alpine Meadows. In the early 70s, they shut that down and built a sophisticated campground here, which works well. Yeah, it's changed a lot over the years. Not the beauty, just because so many people come here, they've done a really good job at trying to maintain it so that it doesn't get worn out or trampled down. So one of the expectations is you stay on the trails, you don't go off the trail. Or you can stay at the campground, which is not expensive, but there's a 3-month reservation list for that as well. I wrote an adventure book for kids, age 11 to 13, called Transported. It's called Transported: The Adventures of Thomas and Claire, where Thomas and Claire, brother and sister, end up all over the world in different places and learn how to work together, learn how to face challenges, learn how to cooperate, and really learn what life is like in many parts of the world. If you have kids that like to read or like to be read to, this would be a good book for them. I have a website, paulsbooks.ca. You can check it out there. Thomas invented a contraption that he didn't expect to do anything, but it takes him to different places in the world where Thomas and Claire have to figure out where they are and what do they have to do to get out of there. And sometimes they make a narrow escape, and sometimes it's more contemplative. But each time they're there, they learn something about themselves and about the world. And as you could probably guess, by the end of the book, they come away changed. They're not the same kids anymore. I wrote this book because I tell stories to my kids all the time. My wife suggested I write them down. It took me 8 years to put it all together and finally publish it. And since then I've been going to schools, middle schools, to grade 5 and 6 classes and talk about writing and talk about the book. I read a chapter to the kids. It's a lot of fun, and kids who read the book or have it read to them quite enjoy it. The youngest is probably about age 8 to read it if they're a good reader, and any age, of course, if they like to be read aloud to. It is part of God's creation that is just spectacular. It is so beautiful, and they have some 40 miles of well-groomed trails. You can climb high, or you can take leisurely hikes. Other than the fact it's hard to get into, it's well worth it. It's just an incredibly beautiful place. If you want a nice leisurely hike, you can walk around the lake. It takes less than an hour. You can hike up to a variety of lakes in the area, different viewpoints. If you like more strenuous hiking, you can go up to a Waxy Gap or to All Souls Prospect around Yuknes Ledge. The beautiful lakes higher in the mountains are really amazing. And it's like this on a sunny day like today, or the last couple of days it's been cloudy. It's still very, very beautiful. We have a great country. Like every country, we have problems, but not problems like in the rest of the world. We have a lot to be thankful for here. A lot to be thankful for. My name is Paul Hankins. I'm from near Red Deer in Alberta. I studied as an engineer, but I work now as a business consultant. If you want to know more about Transported, The Adventures of Thomas and Claire, I have a website, paulsbooks.ca. And you can go there and learn about the book and learn what other people think about the book. Find out more about it. PAULSBOOKS.ca.
1 minute.
Thanks.
Thanks very much.
So we're on now, right now. Good morning. My name is Roland Perrin, and I live in Nelson, BC. And we are here early this morning at Lake O'Hara at the campsite. In terms of myself, I've traveled extensively throughout the world backpacking. An example would be this year, traveling with my wife, backpacking for 40 days throughout Turkey, about just the two of us. And for us, this is about the 6th time that we're here in Lake O'Hara. And the reason we come so often to Lake O'Hara, partially is my wife with her group has done some watercolor paintings, and it's a wonderful place for people to come and do some watercolor paintings. But also, if you're not a painter, the beauty of Lake O'Hara is very, very unusual and is very unique. And what is unique about it is, first of all, you're at this campsite at about 2,000 meters. You're driven here by a bus, and you just set up your tent, and off you go and hike at high altitude. And considering the beauty of the place, as well as the number of people who come here, it is amazing that Parks Canada has been able to preserve this park in such a very unique environment, and it's still more or less in its original state. And for backpacking, definitely 3 to 4 days. They allow you 3 days. There's so much to see. You're at higher altitude. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, we're here in the fall. You've got the beautiful larches here that are changing in colors into their golden colors. Saw some goats yesterday. And today we're off hiking into what is called Duchesne Basin. You could walk all the way to Field. So, if you want a nice holiday for family, you want to bring your children, or you're a senior and you think, wow, hiking up would be difficult, the bus will take you here and you're on your way. So if you want to have a nice holiday and have a chance to be in nature, get away from your computers, this is the place to be. So having traveled extensively throughout the world, and we are on the road about 6 months of the year, we've backpacked in Iceland, China, in Japan. Definitely BC is as good, if not better, as other places in the world. And what makes it as good is definitely it's the beauty of the place. The air is clean out here. Definitely, if you backpack, you can be in very remote areas and you will be by yourself, essentially. My name is Roland Perrin. I live in Nelson, BC, which is about 6 hours driving time from here. And when I used to work, I'm now retired, I worked in the mental health field, and I have been involved in the mountains winter, summer, throughout, I guess, almost my whole life. Thank you.